So last month was Lymphoma Cancer Awareness Month, and this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So with that going on, I decided that it was time that I posted my cancer story on here and spread awareness of what I went through, what it was, and so forth. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep on watching. Okay, so my cancer story is going to be broken down into 4 different videos. So this first video is me talking about how I found out, where it was at, what type of cancer, how old I was, and my reaction. So these videos are going to be short, but I hope they're detailed enough for you to be able to understand what I went through. I wanted to join this program, and in the program they made you go get a physical done at the doctor's, and because of that, that's how I found out. I know one day I was like showering and I noticed I had like a bump on my neck, and I didn't think much of it. I was just like, oh, maybe it's a bone. I don't know. I was young, and I didn't know better. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, there's this thing right here. It doesn't bother me, but I don't think it's normal. So she was like, you're gonna get your physical done. You should mention that to the doctors. So when I went to go get my physical done, I mentioned it to the doctors, and by the looks of it, he looked concerned. So I was a little worried. I was like, he gave that like facial expression that's like not a good thing. So then he was like, okay, I'm gonna recommend you to an oncologist. He's gonna do a biopsy and then we'll go from there. So I went to the oncologist, and then he was like, okay, so we're gonna do a biopsy. We're gonna take a piece of the skin, or the tumor, I guess you could say. We're gonna send it to the labs, and then we will wait for the results. But I mean, he had lots of years of experience, so it was obvious he already kind of assumed what it was. He just didn't want to scare me. So he took me and my mom to his office, and he explained to us that it could be potentially cancer. So that's when he told us that it could be malignant or benign, and he said we're just gonna wait on the results and see what it came out to be. I went to the operation room. They opened me up. They took out a piece of the tumor, and they were gonna send that over to the labs. So I believe that was the end of 8th grade. So during that summer, we were just like waiting and waiting for the results, and they never came in. They never called us. Nothing happened. So my mom started to worry, and she told my dad it was better just to take me to the hospital, just so they can just tell us there what it was. So my dad said okay, and he decided to take me to the hospital. I went to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles on Sunset since I was a child back then. So once I got there, they filled out a bunch of paperwork, and then they asked me if it hurt, and I told them no, I had no pain at all. So after that, it was like a couple of hours until they attended us, and once they attended us, they put me into a room, and they said that they were gonna do some blood tests. And it was, I think, around like midnight already, and the only thing that ran through my mind was like, I'm gonna get no type of sleep. So after that, the nurse came into the room, and she said that I was gonna be hospitalized. And it was kind of crazy because after she came in, a bunch of other doctors came into the room. So that's when I got a little worried. I was like, why is there so many doctors? She said that there were different specialists, and they were just gonna ask a couple of questions. They were probably gonna examine me. So with my dad being my side, I was like, okay, it's fine. And then once they took me off to my room, that I was gonna be hospitalized at They said they were gonna put me on IVs and so forth, and they were gonna continue taking out blood. And I was a little scared, but the thing I liked about the hospital, I know it's dumb, but I was young then, was that the TVs that they had were touchscreen, and they had like Netflix and they had a bunch of movies on there, and I didn't mind. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, and I had the food service and all of that, so I was chilling for a while. And then after that, that's where they told me I was gonna stay for at least for the night. After that, the next morning, a doctor came in. He introduced himself and he said, I'm going to speak with you and your father. So I was like, okay, cool. And by the tone of his voice, I knew. Sure. I told myself I was not going to get emotional. So he said he was going to talk to both of us. So he sat down on the side of my bed, and then my dad was on the other side, and he was all like, so your blood samples came back and they do test positive for cancer cells. The moment he said cancer cells, like my mind just went blank. Like I didn't even know what to say or to think. Like after he said that, like anything after that, I didn't listen. I didn't hear anymore. Like it just, like in the movies when someone's talking, you just like space out. That was me. I was just like thinking, and then I think like my eyes got a little watering, and like I was a teen at that time. I was like a preteen, and I was like, damn, I have cancer. Am I gonna die? And so forth. So the doctor continued talking with my dad, and I don't even know what he said after that. I just remember feeling emotional, and then my dad's the serious type, so he had like no reaction whatsoever to it. I guess he was just like processing all of that, and then he just went to go sit down at the chair that they had. And then after that, I honestly don't remember much. I just remember the doctor walking out, and I think I just continued watching a movie. So that's what the doctor had said to my dad, that the type of cancer is called Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the next day I was gonna have surgery so they can input the port catheter in me so I can start my chemotherapy, and the rest is history. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of my story. I was 14 years old when I found out I had cancer. I found out because of the program that I was trying to join, and I'm very thankful for that program, because I look back and I realized that if I had never joined that program, I don't know if I would have detected the tumor on time. So that's about it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope you guys subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you guys turn on the notifications so you guys get to see the other 3 parts of my story.